Hi, welcome to Juice Bar. Today we're gonna mix a couple of Nutty Negroni. Hey, so I'm back in Japan. I'm still jet lagged, I have a bit of a cold and I'm not wearing a tie because it's too hot, but the important thing is that I'm back. And today I'm gonna propose to you two Negronis that I encountered this summer, which are quite nutty. So let's start from the first one. And the first one is gonna be inspired by the Negroni I drank at QC Terme in Bormio. We went on this nice trip in the mountains while I was in Italy, and one night we decided let's just splurge all our money and give it to a big corporation. And so we went to this QC Terme. It's a chain of really fancy hotels with spas. They are mainly in Italy, but nowadays they are expanding abroad too. They have something in France, they have, I guess, New York City. Anyway, really nice. And that night we went to have a drink at Ugo's bar. And Ugo was this super professional, really nice bartender that prepared us a few good drinks. We also have a nice chit chat. And one of the drinks on his menu is this QC Terme Negroni, which had some frangelico in it, I guess, some hazelnut liqueur. Now, this is not that cocktail exactly, just inspired by. I don't have the exact recipe. But let's get down to mixing. And actually, I made a mistake. I'm not gonna use this, even though it's a Negroni. I'm not gonna use a mixing glass because I'm gonna shaker it. And the reason I'm gonna shaker this Negroni is because I wanna put a bit of coffee flavor in it. And to a coffee I could add coffee bitters or coffee liqueur, but really the easiest way is to just put one bean of coffee in our shaker and let's just break it. Then by shaking everything we are gonna infuse our cocktail with a tiny bit of coffee flavor we need. Then we go with frangelico. Well, I'm just gonna use 7.5 milliliters of this. I have this new jigger that has a 7 milliliter line for a cute small measurement. I might use that one once in a while. And then the recipe is just gonna be a normal Negroni. The only difference I'm gonna implement is the fact that I'm gonna use Select instead of Campari. And I'm gonna do that to just smoothen the cocktail around the edges. I just thought that for this particular recipe, Campari might be the tiny bit too harsh. Another option will probably be to lower the red bitter, like using 22.5 milliliters of Campari. But I kept the 30 milliliters and just switched to Select. Then we're gonna need some sweet vermouth, and it's gonna be 30 milliliters of Antica Formula. And we conclude with some dry gin. I almost finished this special edition Tanqueray Bloomsbury at 47.3%, and it's gonna be 30 milliliters of this one too. Let me get some ice and let's give this bad boy a shake. And let's double strain our cocktail over possibly a nice rock of ice. I'm using an ultra fine strainer, a tea strainer, because I wanna filter out all the coffee powder I produced by grinding the bean before. And let's conclude our cocktail by getting an almond and grinding a tiny bit of it over the ice cube, possibly, so that we get the smell, but we don't get the powder impacting directly our feeling on the tongue. And there you go, an extra nutty Negroni. Let's call it the Italian Terme Negroni. Cheers. really nice. Really, all the extra nuts.
Get ready for your Sunday, cow, with extra nuts.
They really round off this cocktail, which is usually sharper. It's still nicely spicy. It's not lame or anything like that. Still tastes like aperitivo. It works also though as a after dinner, I would say, with that tiny bit more sweetness. And it's just nice. I proposed to you like 1 year or two ago the toffee Negroni that had rum and sherry, and that was also nice and nutty. This one, it's nice and nutty too. Really tasty. With that said, leave me a couple of minutes to kill this Negroni off, and I will see you soon for our next cocktail. So here we are for our second cocktail. It's gonna be a Marsala Negroni. It was developed by Chef Sandra Lotto, and it's just a Negroni where we substitute the vermouth for Marsala. I made one adjustment, and it's the following. I'm gonna add 1 dish of chocolate bitters. Okay, half of it went here, but hey, that's what you get for overfilling your bitters bottles and for being drunk after just one Negroni. I don't know, man. I think I'm really developing some kind of cold because I'm way too tipsy for having just one Negroni. Anyway, let's go on with 30 milliliters of Campari. This time I'm using the original stuff. Then 30 ml of Marsala. I have here the Targa Florio, Marsala Superiore. I'm still amazed how cheap is Marsala compared to Sherry. Really good deal. And I have a Marsala surprise for you in the fall winter, which I brought back from Italy. But yeah, it's a surprise. I'm not gonna spoil it. It's gonna come out in November or around there. And then 30 milliliters, everything 30 milliliters of our Bloomsbury Tanqueray gin. And let me get some ice. And let's give this bad boy a stir. Original recipe said to do it just in the glass. Preparing the Negroni straight over ice in the glass, that's an option. But I learned over time that stirring your Negronis before pouring them over a big chunk of ice is generally better. You can start drinking them right away. If you just mix them in the glass with the ice, they're a bit strong at the beginning. You have to wait a few minutes for it to become more palatable. Let me get a glass. And I prepare the glass with a couple of larger blocks of ice. I don't have the best ice in this moment in my house. I need to go and do some shopping for large block of clear ice. But I hope this is gonna be fine. Let me give it a twirl. Yes. And let me conclude this cocktail by expressing some orange peel. I have here a really average orange from Australia. And there you go, a Marsala Negroni. Cheers. Really nice. I mean, Marsala is just a few steps removed from your vermouth. It's a fortified wine done in Italy. It doesn't have all the spices. It's just wine done with Solera technique, like sherry. But you know, it's a fortified wine with some added sweetness to it. So it totally makes sense, this cocktail. And it's actually really good. I highly suggest trying it. Marsala, man. I love Marsala. Thinking about Nutty, the only thing that came to mind is the Nutty Professor. Before being a movie with Eddie Murphy, it was a movie with Jerry Lewis. Actually quite popular in Italy. I remember when I was little, I had a notebook with Jerry Lewis on the cover, and I thought that was cool. So it's not only French people that think Jerry Lewis was cool, it was also some Italian.